is Liverpool, the defending champions.
The car is stalled there and waving the hands around. I think that's his race over.
Craig Dolby makes no mistakes and claims the first win of the Super League Formula season for Spurs.
Oh no! No drama!
In the back.
Defending champions, and they might come out of the round with no points.
It's victory for Sébastien Bourdais and Olympique Lyonnais in race 2. Victory and €100,000 for Spurs.
Welcome to the second stop on the Super League Formula 2010 Tour. 18 drivers will once again strap on their crash helmets and climb aboard their fearsome 750 brake horsepower single-seater racing cars. They'll go head-to-head over 3 races on a single day, and each one has an equal chance to earn points towards the championship title and to chase the €100,000 on offer to the winner of the Super Final. This time we are in Assen, the Netherlands. It is one of the most renowned MotoGP circuits in the world, having hosted the legendary TT races since 1923. Hundreds of thousands of Dutch fans have gathered at this vast and challenging track in the north of Holland, and now they're ready to enjoy the big machines of Super League Formula.
It's quite a tricky circuit, there's some very tricky corners.
Dolby, like most of the drivers in Super League Formula, is new to this track, and he won't benefit from the home support he relished in round 1 at Silverstone.
The race is a complete different kettle of fish, so let's go and have a good race.
Here the fans will probably be cheering for the car of Dutch football club PSV Eindhoven. But that's not the only Dutch involvement in the league. 3 drivers from the Netherlands are ready to prove that racing on home soil really does make a difference. There's a real passion for motorsport in the Netherlands, and the crowds gathered in Assen to cheer their favourites. Jelmer Berman from Upbergen is one of 3 Dutch drivers competing against one another in this year's Super League Formula.
There's always competition, but it's good. I mean, no competition, it would be boring, but no, it's good.
Rotterdam's former Jordan F1 driver Robert Doornbos drives for Brazilian club Corinthians and is well aware of the level of expectation.
The pressure is on, I'm like feeling it on the shoulders now, but no, it's good. It's always great to see the Dutch fans. They follow me all over the world, even when I was in F1, every place, China till Canada, there was always Dutch fans. So, but to be in front of the home crowd is nice. Yeah, I'm going to push for it.
The third Dutch driver actually comes from New Zealand, but his grandparents are from the Netherlands. Chris van der Drift is in his first season of Super League and is learning fast.
Yeah, obviously now you have to get down to business and you can't say the whole year, it's just a test. So what I learned from Silverstone was good, and I'll build on that and then just take that forward and hopefully continue to work, and there'll be a point where I'd say, okay, now I feel comfortable with the car and with how everything's working, but still more to come.
So there are 3 Dutch drivers to support, but there's also a famous Dutch team, PSV Eindhoven, with Indian driver Narain Karthikeyan.
It's like my home race. Obviously driving for PSV Eindhoven, it makes you part of the Dutch thing. So yeah, so the fans, I hope they support me because I'm the true Dutch representative for the team. Both the team and me are new to the championship. We're trying to learn as quickly as possible. It's not very easy because all the cars are equal, and the older teams have a big advantage with the data for the last 2 years. So we're a little bit of in a back foot really. But having said that, we'll work hard at it and try and get up to the front as soon as possible.
Before the drivers headed into town to meet the fans and show off the capabilities and noise of the cars, the track was open for afternoon free practice. Olympique Lyonnais driver Sébastien Bourdais is one of the very few racers here with experience of the TT circuit, setting the outright qualifying record here at Assen during the 2007 Champ Car Series.
Sébastien Bourdais, Olympique Lyonnais. So here in Assen for a lap.
And going to a very tight right-hand corner, which closes.
Don't be too over-optimistic on entry of that really tight hairpin, because otherwise you really ruin the exit, which is really important.
Going all the way to 6th gear for a very quick chicane.
In which you need to time it just perfect because it's a bit narrow and very fast. Right curb, left curb, and very difficult to get back max power here. for a very exciting right-hand corner in fourth gear. Use all the track again. Short shoot for a little braking, going down to third gear for a 90-degree corner. A bit tricky, a bit slippery.
And another right-hand corner in third gear, which is very important to get a good exit because you have a very long back straight.
One of the most exciting corners coming up, the very long left, full throttle, 6th gear, a bit bumpy, and then high braking, third gear chicane, a little snap on exit, a bit difficult over there, and that's a lap in Assen.
On Friday evening, Assen city centre was packed with spectators. Alongside the city canal, they enjoyed a full-on street demo by the SuperLeague cars of Liverpool, AC Milan, Corinthians and PSV Eindhoven. After showing off with burnouts, donuts and top speeds of over 250 kilometres per hour, the drivers entertained the crowd in a penalty shootout competition against legendary Belgian goalkeeper Jean-Marie Pfaff. Maria de Vallota, the league's only female racer, driving for Atletico Madrid, was keen to prove the connection between soccer and motorsport that goes hand in hand with Super League Formula. The drivers and clubs were split into two groups. Anderlecht, Bordeaux, Flamengo and Galatasaray made it through, but surprisingly Tottenham and Lyon, race winners at Silverstone, did not make it. A shock in qualifying.
We made quite a few mistakes and the car wasn't there, and I got a little bit frustrated.
A big mess. We just started with way too low pressures and the car was bottoming out way too much and just couldn't drive it.
The top four from Group B were Roma, Olympiacos, AC Milan and FC Porto. The first quarter-final saw AS Roma go up against Galatasaray, Julien Jus versus Tristan Gomedy, and it was Jus who came through for Roma. The second quarter-final saw Porto go up against Anderlecht, and on this occasion it was Anderlecht, David Rigon, who went through. Quarter-final 3 saw Chris van der Drift of Olympiacos up against Frank Pereira of Flamengo. Here comes van der Drift to try and beat it. It's going to be tough. No, he doesn't. And the last quarter-final saw AC Milan go up against Bordeaux, and it was Frenchman Franck Montagny who came through to the semis. As we went into the semi-finals, tension mounted. The first battle saw Roma up against Bordeaux, Julien Jus versus Franck Montagny.
The throttle early. Ooh, he runs wide.
So the question was, could Roma capitalise? Julien Jus pushed very, very hard. Will it be enough across the line? 24-2, here comes Montagny, 24-0. Bordeaux make it through to the final. The second semi saw Anderlecht, Davide Rigon going up against Flamengo, and it looked as though Anderlecht was flying throughout the lap. Anderlecht does a 1:23.9, over the curve, over the grass, Flamengo, 24-0. It's Anderlecht that has made it through. And so the final, the pole position shootout was between Bordeaux with Franck Montagny and Anderlecht, Davide Rigon. Montagny with his ex-Formula 1 experience, but Rigon as former Super League champion. Both were pushing hard. Has he done enough in the Bordeaux car to take his first pole for the new team across the line? It's a 1:24.2 for Bordeaux. Across the line for Anderlecht. They've seen it. They have pole. Anderlecht's done it.
I'm very happy. I say thank you very much to my team because we work a lot during the weekend from Silverstone. We are there, we are fast. I'm happy.
So just looking at that championship situation once again, obviously of the front runners in the series, Porto looking pretty good because Alvaro Parente is better qualified than the others around him. But it's good to see that we have returning to the series this weekend a football club from Beijing, champions in the first season in 2008, and it's Australian driver John Martin who'll be driving for them. Abby has been catching up with him.
John Martin driving for Beijing, new team, new car.
Yeah, for sure. It's great to be here. The car looks awesome in green, so it's racing for Beijing this weekend's great. So hopefully we can put in a good result for the first race and the second race today, and it'll be really good. I'm feeling really confident, even though qualifying didn't go that well. So happy days.
Race 1 at the second round of Super League Formula here in Assen is about to get underway. Stay with us for more. Welcome back to Assen in the Netherlands for the first race of the day around this circuit. So well known for MotoGP. It's fast and it's flowing in most areas. It's just that first section which is tight and twisty. Cars already lining up on the grid. Sixth on the grid, Olympiakos. That's Chris van der Drift. Had a couple of podium finishes at Silverstone. He'll be looking for more of the same this weekend. Jelmer Berman for AC Milan had a good second place finish at Silverstone himself. And a pretty impressive qualifying run yesterday. Flamengo, this is Frank Pereira. He's starting from third place on the grid. The club yet to win a race. Bordeaux, new to Super League Formula. That's Frank Montagny at the wheel, former F1 driver for Super Aguri. But on pole position, it is Anderlecht, Davide Rigon, the Italian driver who was champion in 2008, but with the Belgian team. So here's the complete grid. Anderlecht and Bordeaux on the front row, Flamengo and Roma on row number 2. Back on row 3 then, it's AC Milan and Olympiakos, Porto and Galatasaray are next. Then it's Basel and Seville, Liverpool and Olympique Lyonnais, Sebastian Bourdais with plenty to do from there. Then it's Beijing, Tottenham way back 2, followed by Corinthians and Sporting Lisbon. And at the back it's PSV and Atletico Madrid. It is Anderlecht leading the way as we get the first race of the day at Assen underway as they spread their way through, but it's going to be a battle into the first corner. Anderlecht on the inside, Bordeaux on the outside. They go straight through the first corner safely. Flamengo in third place, Roma in fourth, so the top 4 pretty much in qualifying order. You had a little look at Jelmer Berman trying to come down the inside for 6th place, but he didn't quite make it there, I think, in the black and red car. But everybody so far making it round. And who's making moves? Well, Marcos Martinez on the inside, Parent on the outside in the blue and white car. He's trying to go around the outside and spanning it off that Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah, Borja Garcia.
Borja Garcia, yeah, he's in the gravel. He's not going to come back from there, is he?
Very bad weekend so far for Borja. Had problems in the testing, qualifying, just had a few laps. As we are having an eye on Frank Pereira and the Flamengo car, who's being attacked a little bit by another Frenchman, Julien Jousse.
Then Anderlecht leading from Bordeaux, then a little gap back. Look at this going on further back because it is, Bourdais! Contact! Porto in trouble there, made contact with Sebastian Bourdais, damage to the front of Sebastian Bourdais' car. The Lyon car is in trouble, front wing is broken, and that could be the end of the race for him.
It is the end of the race for him. He's probably going to have a puncture before he gets back to the pits with the front right tyre. Well, what happened is that Dolby was on the outside, Bourdais was on the inside. Dolby kind of defended and moved towards the inside. He didn't know that Bourdais was just there on the inside making a move as well. You can see that the 2 leaders are flying. Anderlecht is away, Frank Montagny following, and Frank Pereira is struggling a little bit and he's blocking a little bit AS Roma and Jelmer Berman. So he has to build up his confidence and find a better rhythm to try to follow the leaders.
We're on board though with Jelmer Berman here for AC Milan, and he's currently sitting in 5th place, and here he's got a great run going. He's using the push to pass, using the extra horsepower, but can he convert it into the position? Oh, he's off using the extra bit of track. Surely he won't. He has to use this little escape road. Comes back in, no change.
No change, and he didn't lose much time either. He used the push to pass a little bit too late, I think.
Difficult though, it's a fairly short straight, isn't it?
Yeah, very hard, and when the driver in front of you defends and keeps the inside line, it's never going to make your life easy.
And there's Frank Montagny for Bordeaux, still tucked in behind him. These two have really run away from Flamengo running in 3rd place. Frank Pereira still holding on to that 3rd from Roma. And then Milan, Galatasaray 6th. We've got Basel running 7th, Seville 8th, Olympiakos in 9th and Tottenham in 10th. Another look at the start here. Bruce, talk us through it.
Yeah, everybody from the back had a very good momentum, a better momentum, like around the 5th, 6th place, and you can see all the cars being very well together. Frank Montagny was clever and didn't fight so much, let the door open to Davide Rigon to make sure he could close the door behind him.
Davide Rigon still leading for Anderlecht, but the gap just half a second between these two. Great race going on between the top 2. A little bit of a lonely 3rd, and here comes Jelmer Berman again. He's still trying to get past Julien Jousse. He's looking to one side, he looks to the other. Into turn 1, there's no space there. Can he cut back on the exit and try and get him through turn 2? It's going to be tight. Oh, can they make it? My goodness, that was close. Well driven from both of them. Look at this. Galatasaray and Basel going close, and Basel's taken the place. Max Wissel has taken full advantage there in the multicoloured car, and he has gained 1 position. He's gone up into 6th place.
Yeah, and that's Narain Kartikeyan from PSV Eindhoven that just spun at the exit of turn 4, and he goes again.
contact with the Beijing car of John Martin. That's what caused the spin.
Yeah, Naren Kartiken, he's a racer. He's always going to try. He's always going to push, and it didn't work this time.
And Olympiakos out, Chris van der Drift. They've got gearbox problems on the car. This is Dolby on the attack. Dolby's got maybe one. They're going 3 abreast into turn 1. Can he make this work? Oh, Galatasaray's been passed by Seville. Can Dolby now take advantage of it? No, he can't, because he got on the outside there, and there's no hold. Tristan Comedy trying to retake the place from Seville. Wonderful action further down the order, and remember, you get points all the way down the order, so it's crucial to battle for each and every point. They're being caught, by the way, by Liverpool.
Push the bar, big lap, and you're best place.
And meanwhile, Mats Wissel has caught AS Roma, so you've got the Basel car you're riding on board with now. Is he going to go on the attack here? As they come down to turn 1, he's not quite close enough. You can see it's a little short shoot. There's a bit of a battle going on behind. Tottenham still battling there as well, and in fact there's been a change. Yeah, he has now got past Galatasaray, chasing after Seville. Oh, we've got problems for Maria now. Maria de Vallota. Let's take a look. This is her heading down into turn 1. What happened?
Yep, too much speed, then probably on the brakes at the apex, hit the curb and spun. It's a heavy car.
Look at the top left of the screen. The pit window has opened because we've had 15 minutes. Flamengo's come in, so has AC Milan. There's Jelmer Berman, and remember, he's been pushing pretty hard in this race so far. The Dutch driver Basel has come in as oh, there's a problem there. He stalled it. Berman has stalled it. He needs a push. He says push, push, push. Oh, that's disappointing for AC Milan. What about Basel? Will this one work? Only 6 guys allowed to work on the car, 1 on each corner, and the Jackman, and he gets away cleanly. That was a pretty good stop. Oh, and AC Milan still sits there. Eventually he gets going. He's on a new set of tyres, but he won't get the much use out of those, I'm afraid, because they've lost so much time on that pit stop. And into the pits come the leaders. So they've both come in together. Look at how Montagne, he must have been very fast into pit lane, because he's closed right up.
Yes, like yesterday we were looking at on the side of the track, they were training to get in as fast as possible, as they're having a bit of a problem with the front jack. Seems okay. Oh, no, he's losing some time. He's lost a lot of time to David Erigon.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it was his opportunity in the pit lane to try to make a move or to try to overtake him. Now it's going to be difficult.
Let's get some news from the pits and find out what happened to Chris van der Drift of Olympiakos.
Just be careful.
What happened?
Just a bit of a gearbox problem from the beginning of the race, and it just got worse and worse, and I lost all my gears at the end, so no more.
Now Varo Parent might have a chance here on Tristan Gomendy, because his tyres are obviously up to temperature, where meanwhile Gomendy with brand new slicks on, which only take a corner or so to come in, and having got through that section safely, he should be safe enough.
Yeah, he should be safe, especially he knowing that he has new tyres, he has very good traction. And I'm wondering, with such a big hole in the front nose, he won't have any warming up problems for himself. I mean, he's not hot.
Oh, he's locked up big time.
Go straight
across the shortcut.
Will he rejoin in front of Alvaro Parente? Just no, Alvaro Parente made a move.
So he's gained that place. Big lock-up on the new tyres, wasn't it? You could just see a puff of smoke, and suddenly he shot down the escape road.
And Franck Montagny stopped in the inside.
Oh, the man who was running second. What has happened to Porto? Franck Montagny. Major dramas. Meanwhile, Tottenham's in the pits. Seville's still out there leading this race, but Franck Montagny, something's gone wrong, and he's not going to finish either. So Craig Dolby gets going, hits the speed limit button, climbs out of the pits, and we're on board with the man who is effectively leading this race if we take the pit stops into account. And indeed, here comes the driver that was leading before he made his pit stop. So this is a crucial stop for Seville, and the guys go to work getting those tyres on. There's a little problem on that right front. Oh, the wheel gun was still attached, and I don't think that right front has gone on properly. In fact, no, there's something definitely wrong. It hasn't been attached properly, and that means it could be end of race for Seville. They're going to try and send him on his way, but he's lost so much time now. That is bitterly disappointing, as it is for Franck Montagny to be out of the race. Leader through, and there's second place Flamengo, the red, white and black colours of the Brazilian club. Basel, a brilliant third after a superb round of pit stops from them. There's Roman. Now there's the fastest car on track. Despite that slow stop, there is Jelmer Berman, the Dutch driver. He is the star of the show at the moment. He's absolutely flying. They're in Tottenham in 6th place now that we've lost Seville. So that's another place gained for Craig Dolby. 7th for Liverpool, 8th for Porto, 9th for Galatasaray, and the top 10 rounded out by another Dutch driver. That's Robert Dornbos, ex-F1 driver. and he is now in 10th place ahead of Beijing and PSV, who are in 11th and 12th. Well, back in is the Seville car. Obviously, they sent him on his way, but maybe there were still some concerns. They've changed the wheels. And on ball with Liverpool attacking Tottenham, and he looks as though he's through. But can he finish it off? Yes, he can. What a great move. He used the push to pass, and Dolby, surprisingly, could not defend.
No, very good momentum exiting turn 4, using the push to pass. He was just in front of Craig Dolby and could brake a tiny bit later and still make through the corner, around the outside. Great maneuver.
There is your race leader, though. It is Anderlecht. Davide Rigon looking very much in control. He's got a huge advantage, really, in single-seater terms of 5.5 seconds. They're all identical cars, remember. It all comes down to how the team sets up the finer details and how the driver gets the best out of it. He's lost a few tenths on that lap, but I don't think it's anything to worry about.
No, but Frank Pereira has lost 1 second on Basel, who's coming back as well. All this group of chasing cars. And here it is AC Milan and Jelmer Berman chasing and closing up this first pack of cars, who's just behind the leader.
Dolby seems to have settled down now in the Tottenham car. He seemed to lose a bit of pace. Maybe it was simply that Liverpool found some pace, because Walker really at that section of the race was going very quickly. PSV, meanwhile, the car being pushed away by the Racing for Holland guys, and it looks as though he's not going to play any further part in this race. And well, that would put him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th on the grid for the second race. You're not allowed to just pull into the pits though and give up, by the way, if you're wondering. If you think, oh well, that's easy, you get pole position for the second race by just pulling off early. You're not allowed to do that.
No, you're going to start off again at the back.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that would be hard. 5th place for AC Milan, who's sort of settled down now a little bit, not going quite so quickly. He was massively fast on the new tyres after the frustration of that slow pit stop, but he still has got a solid 5th place. But you can see that Flamengo are gradually getting closer to the race leader. Is this Davide Rigon just controlling things, or do you think he may have some problems here?
No, he's just controlling for sure. His lap time is consistent in the 26, mid-26, but he could do 25 easily before, so he's just controlling, taking it easy. It's a long day, 2 other races to go. Oh, Davide Rigon having a bit of a oversteering moment. Exiting the very fast chicane, minimum speed in that chicane.
Oh, into the pits is Porto, so it wasn't just he was letting him through.
Into the box, engine cover off, please.
A major problem for Alvaro Parent.
Engine cover off doesn't seem good. I hope the car is not going to catch fire.
And look at this, Dolby under pressure from Galatasaray. Tristan Gomedy, he's got past Parent, and now he's on a charge. He wants another scalp before the end of this race. Dolby's late on the brakes, though, and just about holds the position. These two still fighting for 7th, but we've lost the blue car, the Porto car, from this, what was a 3-way battle. Parent's in the pit lane. It's Dolby now protecting his 7th place from Tristan Gomedy, and the clock is continuing to count down. Less than a minute and a half to go now. So can Dolby keep Tristan Gomedy behind him? It looks like we could be on the last lap, depending on when that clock ticks away. Anderlecht leading. He's controlled the latter stages of this race, and he's still got plenty in hand over Flamengo there in 2nd place. What a great return to Super League this is for Frank Pereira as well. The clock ticking away. It's going to be quite a close run thing as to whether this is his last lap or not. He's coming up to the chicane. If the clock goes to 0 before the line, it will be the end of the race. It's going to be tight. Might be worth slowing down here, Davide. Yeah, it's okay. It is the checker flag. He takes the victory in the first race of the day.
Great job,
Anderlecht win.
well done, well done.
The guys on the pit wall celebrating a superb drive by Davide Rigon. Anderlecht taking the win from Flamengo in 2nd, Basel in 3rd, then AS Roma, AC Milan, Liverpool, Tottenham in there as well. But some disappointment for some quick runners earlier on in the race. Davide Rigon celebrating victory here in race 1 at Assen, and Abby is with him.
Davide, congratulations. You capitalised on pole and led right from the start.
Yes, very well. We are very happy. Say thank you for my team, because we had a very good pit stop. I don't know what happens to Frank. He was behind me, we was very close, and then when I saw he was not behind me, I tried to keep the tire for next race, because it's important to think about the next now. We are congratulations for the team. Thank you for everybody.
First win of this season for Anderlecht. Good start to their year. But the fans enjoyed an interesting race there. Disappointment, though, for Frank Montagny. What happened to him?
Frank, you're heading for a podium in race 1. What happened?
Well, I had a problem with the clutch. I pit in, and when I get out, we did only 2 laps. And after that, on the straight line, the clutch started to burn, and that was the beginning of the end.
Now it's so important that you and Bordeaux can scrape back some points. How can you utilise starting from second row?
I don't know. We'll see. It's like so far it has been a nightmare. So we'll see. We get it right, but it doesn't shine for us so far. So we'll see what happens during this race. We try to score the maximum points and to do good, but we'll see at the end of the race.
And how are your ribs finally holding up?
Still on the left side, so it's okay.
In the championship, Tottenham are still in command, but further down the order than they would like. Sébastien Bourdais for Olympique Lyonnais after the incident earlier on.
Sebastian, a disastrous weekend. Everything that could go wrong with the car has.
Yeah, unfortunately we unloaded and the car was quick, and then from there it just went downhill. We had one failure after another, and yesterday didn't go well in qualifying. We had a problem with tire blankets, and then today an incident with Alvaro over there. I think he overreacted a little bit with Craig Dolby on the outside, and then he just turned on me and braked, and so the collision was inevitable. But that wasn't the worst thing. The thing is that something had broken on the gearbox, which we didn't know, and once I stopped the car to get the marshals to remove the front wing from under the car, it's the whole gearbox seized and everything's broken in there. So since there are no spare, just no chance to fix the car and get back out there. So a 0 for that weekend.
Running starts are exciting and probably safer. You never have anybody stalling on the grid and having big shunts. It's usually small contacts, but that can still ruin your race. So you just need to be really focused and straight away in very accurate and precise.
Always turn 1 or the first lap is something you want to survive and get the best position you can. At least maintain your position, hopefully gain a couple.
You're pumped up really to do well for the first corner, and obviously you want to get the guy next to you, whatever. So everybody's going for it, but that's about it. You're concentrating a lot to get the corner right.
The start at Silverstone was cool. I mean, I saw a gap open up, and on the warm-up lap I knew where it was dry. I spent especially more time I went slower into turn 1 on the warm-up lap and found a dry patch, and in the race luckily the car turned in and I hit that dry patch and it gripped and launched me off up the road, and did 4 in 2 corners, so I can't really moan at that.
When you start from the front, you have a few guys around of you, they know what they're doing, and that's definitely better than when you start from the last position, for example. It's always a bit of stress, especially in the first corner or the first lap, but it's brilliant for the spectators to see the race, and I like it to start in the second race from the back, to fight with the other drivers, and it's a good fun.
When you're next to the guy, you still have to look forwards and you're concentrated on him, but you're always a bit brutal when you react to something. So I got pretty excited on the throttle and got a lot of wheel speed, which wasn't so good.
I know some people, as soon as the lights go out, push to pass, but I kind of think about it more than that and try and save it for when it's most kind of useful.
Cars are on the grid here at Assen as we prepare for the first of 3 races today. The track is dry, the slicks have been warmed up. Stay with us for all the action coming up next. Welcome back to Super League in Assen. The beautiful girls in the pit lane getting ready for the start of this race, and the beautiful boys too. They're going off to the crowd. The racers getting ready to represent their clubs on the grid for the second race of the day. So on the grid it is Sporting Lisbon on pole position with Atletico Madrid on that front row, Olympiacos and Bordeaux, then Eindhoven and Seville. Behind them we've got Porto and Beijing, Corinthians and Galatasaray, then Tottenham and Liverpool. They're followed by Milan and Roma, Basel and Flamengo, and on his own at the back is Davide Ragon for Anderlecht. Lisbon, the green and white colours that lead the grid away once again. The cars are coming into that last chicane. They're lining up in preparation for the start of the second race of the day here at Assen. On the front row, Sporting Lisbon and Atletico Madrid. Lights out, away we go, and it is Sporting Lisbon with the advantage. Madrid coming under pressure immediately as they head down into the first corner. Olympiacos moves up into second. Oh, and Bordeaux is up to third. Maria getting squeezed out. She's down to fourth place already, and she's under increasing attack here. There is Craig Dolby, and he's already trying to make up some ground. He's battling though with Liverpool on the inside. He's trying to go around the outside, and he's done it. He's got round the outside there of James Walker. You're riding on board with Craig Dolby, and as ever he goes on the attack.
Yeah, on the attack, new tyres around the outside. It worked very well done from Craig again.
Yeah, those new tyres at their best, of course, on this first lap. He's protecting his position a little bit now, but he doesn't have to worry. Walker wasn't really in a position to attack there. Galatasaray coming through. At the back is Jelmer Berman for AC Milan, so he got away a bit poorly because he was fifth from back. Oh, problems for Robert Dornbos in the Corinthians car. Might have been contact somewhere.
Yeah, they must have had contact. I think his front wing.
Beijing.
Oh, that's John Martin.
Yeah.
Contact in the first race, contact in the second race.
Oh, what a shame. What a disappointing weekend for them. One or two drivers this weekend will want to forget the activities at Assen, weren't they? Sebastian Bourdais, one of them, and now it looks like John Martin is another. Yep. Look at that punctured right rear. He's trying to limp it back to the pits, and meanwhile there's a bit of a battle going on here. That's Marcos Martinez trying to get past Maria. The two Spaniards going wheel to wheel here. She's got through on the approach to the chicane.
So there is a pile of car behind her at the moment, just because she's trying to find her way around.
Yeah, and at the back there you saw Anderlecht coming through. Started right at the back, of course, and look at Jelmer Berman. He's trying to squeeze past the Flamengo car, I think it is.
Yes, it is.
Frank Pereira. So these guys who were all, of course, right up front in the first race, they're all battling over last position. Let's take another look at the start here.
Yep, on the inside, Borja Garcia blocks. On the right side, Miss de Villota is getting squeezed by Frank Montagny. There was a contact at the back. I'm not quite sure if Donbos was involved in there.
Robert, an early collision, just a really bad start, and you, Porto, Beijing, who was to blame for that?
Well, there was nothing I could do. I had a really good start, had a good momentum, and then coming into turn one, I got sandwiched by, I think, Galatasaray, and then Porto, and then there was Tottenham on the outside. So nobody left Bobby D any room, and then they climbed over me, and that was it. So, you know, very unfortunate. It's part of racing, I know, but yeah, it's not nice to have it happen in the first corner. You know, it was we were going for a good result. I think a final was possible. Now we have to do it next week in Magny-Cours. Sorry for the fans. Thank you.
It's simple and straightforward from Robert Dornbos, but it hasn't really been a great weekend for him. It is disappointing.
This is Craig Dolby, and he just overtook.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he's up to fifth place now, Bruce. Already he's up to fifth position. This is another Craig Dolby kind of start to a race. He's using those new tyres to best effect, and he can overtake when other people apparently can't. He's got that Tottenham car up into fifth place, PSV in sixth, seventh for Liverpool, eighth still is Maria de Villota, with right behind a whole gang of cars, most of them guys who were running up front in race one.
Yeah, they're super fast, and they're going to try to charge now. We're on board. Ooh.
Oh, that was Jelmer Berman. My goodness, he did well to hold that, didn't he?
Yes, he did very well. Still had to cut the chicane, but he kept it together.
Before race one, you were so confident. Now race two, how disappointing is it to be over so quickly?
Yeah, obviously it's quite disappointing. Something happened on the before just after the lights went green. Really, I got a right rear puncher. I think someone just drove into the back wheel, and it's unfortunately punctured the tyre. So I tried to stay out of the way right up till turn one, but unfortunately there's a lot of other mess going on as well, and got taken out. So that's the way it goes. Tried to get it back here, but the engine was going to cook itself, so I had to stop and park it.
So the green and white car leading this car is the Sporting Lisbon machine, and he's got a good advantage, 2.3 seconds. for our race leader. Look at these guys all still fighting. Tristan Gomedy in the red and yellow car. He's coming under increased attack here as Anderlecht. David Rigon trying to go around the outside. He can't do that. He's going to lose another place as a result of that. Perhaps he should have backed out of it earlier. Maria still under attack in the red, white and blue car. She's got Tristan Gomedy behind.
This is Assen.
Here we go, he's on the attack, he's trying to get past Anderlecht, but Anderlecht's got the inside line into the chicane. Oh, they have to squeeze over the curbs. Great racing here from all of these guys, but he didn't find a way through, and the Dutch driver there, Jelmer Berman, on board the black and red AC Milan car, has to stay in position for now. Still a long way to go in this race, of course. It is a 45-minute race. The clock ticking away in the top left-hand corner of the screen. Once we get to 30 minutes to go, the pit lane opens up for the all-important pit stop. Maria now really having to watch her mirrors because here comes Tristan Gomedy. Oh, and that's a brave place to go past, round the outside, and he's done it.
Yeah, he's done it.
And meanwhile, right behind Anderlecht and AC Milan, here's AC Milan now. He might have got that still, yep, still just holding on.
He runs wide, and Anderlecht goes back. David Rigon keeps his position.
Great dice between these two guys, David Rigon, Anderlecht, and Jelmer Berman, who was fastest in the first race today. So, Borja Garcia in the Sporting Lisbon car, chased by Olympiacos, the famous Greek team, driven by a Dutchman, Chris van der Drift. He comes from New Zealand, but from Dutch grandparents, and so he'll be having some support. That was a big lock-up there in front of Liverpool for PSV. That was Naren Kartikeyan going for his late braking tricks. But here is that lead battle. It's still no change, but look again. Marcos Martinez in the other red and white car there for Seville. He's caught up, and of course not far behind all of them, it's Craig Dolby for Tottenham. He will be delighted to be on the lead pack. I mean, that's all he could have really hoped for, was to be somewhere near the leaders. And the great thing for him is that Sporting Lisbon is basically holding the others up a little bit. No one has been able to make a break, so that puts him right in the frame here as we go through this race, filing through that chicane, and he's tucked in behind Marcos Martinez. Martinez made a slight mistake there, and this is a chance for Dolby to gain another place. He's down the inside. Surely he's got that one. He's up in a 4th place, and once again Dolby is on a charge.
Yep, made it very nice and clean. Little snap of the steer on the exit, but perfect move. Oh, he's got him again.
Wow, well, that's what Dolby usually does to other people, and now Marcos Martinez returns the favour.
Very nice move from Marcos Martinez. Brilliant, very impressive, very aggressive driving, but very good job.
So as they come around, the pit lane has opened up now, and interestingly, Basel are getting ready for their man to come in. They're obviously feeling it's being held up by Liverpool. Hasn't been able to get past James Walker, and I don't think he'll be the only one coming in on this lap. After this, it could all change around. Olympiacos currently in 2nd place, Bordeaux in 3rd, 4th place is still Seville, and 5th place is Tottenham, and into the pits comes Seville. So Olympiacos, that is Olympiacos in from 2nd place, coming into the pits, and Seville coming in, and Tottenham.
Dolby,
yeah, so Craig Dolby does come in, closes right up as they come into that pit lane entry, then they hit the speed limit button.
In pit lane.
On the radio. Now let's watch this stop. What a crucial stop this is. And watch to see if it's new tyres. It is new tyres going on. Who else has got new tyres?
Chris van der Drift.
Yeah.
Marcos Martinez, no new tyres.
Away we go. Let's see how that settles out now. Have they come back? Yes. Craig Dolby coming out. He's still behind Olympiacos. Bordeaux into the pits from what was 3rd place before the stops started happening. Also into the pits is the lead car of Sporting Lisbon. That gets going again, getting a little bit held up there in pit lane by the incoming car, and it's going to be very close. Look, these two were leading, or were up front, are absolutely together as they come out of the pits.
Yeah, it was very logic for Borja to stop now, as Montagny was going to stop, just to stay in front of him. That's just what I was going to say, and Franck Montagny did cut the line a little bit there, and Craig Dolby is up there.
Dolby's the one who's going to chase down the green car. Can he lunge into the inside? No, he's not close enough. Still not quite there. Still not quite able to slide down the inside into turn 2. No room into turn 3. And once again, Garcia doing a sterling defensive job. And this is really helping Chris van der Drift for Olympiacos, who is still up ahead of these guys. Galatasaray have not yet made their pit stop. So Galatasaray shown as your race leader. But of everyone that stopped, it is Olympiacos that currently have the advantage. advantage, and this is the battle behind between Sporting Lisbon, Tottenham and Bordeaux. Seville a bit further back, then Liverpool, then PSV, then AC Milan, followed by Anderlecht. But Dolby has got to find a way through quickly here. Now he's still got 3 push to pass available. You can see that in the bottom right of that graphic, the onboard graphic. He has 3 opportunities to use the push to pass. But remember, once you use it, and he's actually on it now by the looks of things. Look at him, where he's closing up. Can he use it though? What an interesting place to use it, because there's no space to get past.
No, but he's still going to have it there. He's still going to have it right now, so he should be able to overtake. Yes, it was the plan. Get closer and use it.
And he's down the inside, and he takes second place. Grabs that advantage from Sporting Lisbon, who's going to try and come back. But this time, Craig Dolby's aware of it, because he's already had that done to him by Marcus Martinez.
Borja Garcia, Franck Montagny, another fight. Franck very close, right into the gearbox of Borja. Borja closes on the inside, Franck on the outside. Borja squeezes him, but Franck squeezes him back towards the inside, makes the apex, makes the corner, done.
Yeah, up into 3rd place goes Bordeaux, but throughout all of this, we've rather let this chap get away with it, because Chris van der Drift in the Olympiakos car has a very comfortable lead at the moment. It's 5.4 seconds. I say that. Craig Dolby was quicker than him on the last lap by some 0.4 of a second, but Chris van der Drift is certainly up front and in control at the moment in this race.
You have 7 pushes to pass left.
And he has 7 pushes to pass left, which makes him very, very comfortable. Because he's going to be able to really manage his tires and still be fast in the straights. Oh, and that is AS Roma battle with Max Wissel of FC Basel. And AS Roma on the inside makes the move.
Yeah, that's a gain of 12th position there for Julien Jus. Basel just went in a bit too deep.
Yes, he was trying to make a move on the inside, I think, or he was defending, and Julien Jus made a good move.
It is Chris van der Drift, the 24-year-old, who has driven superbly here this afternoon. And on this last lap, there's no way, surely now, that Tottenham can close up unless he has a major problem. He's coming up the final section of the circuit. Just the fast left-hander to deal with into the final chicane. And Chris van der Drift for the Olympiakos team is going to take the 2nd win of the day here at Assen.
No, we won the race!
2nd goes to Tottenham, Craig Dolby. 3rd goes to Franck Montagny for Bordeaux. Finally, they've got some points on the board. Olympiakos take the victory by 2.4 seconds from Tottenham in 2nd. Craig Dolby fighting his way through. Montagny in 3rd, and Martinez for Seville in 4th place.
Your first victory in Super League.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome, especially after this morning's race. To turn it around now and win on my 2nd weekend, so it's great, and just, yeah, flabbergasted really.
Chris, now you see, look, he's back in race mode now, isn't he?
It's all about bringing everything to a conclusion, because what we find in nearly all motor racing, traditionally, once it's over, it's over. You have this tremendous build-up, and then it's finished.
3 races in one day. I don't think any series does that at the moment. And to have 2 medium to long races, 45 minutes each, and then one sort of short super final when everybody gives all they got, I think that's quite cool.
It's big pressure. We just finished the 2nd race. Everybody is quite tired and we have to restart. It's tough, but fantastic.
Everybody's rushing down the pit lane because Timekeeper has an instant calculation of the points. He radios through to me and we're informing the 6 teams. Then all rushing, I think it's us, and you know, it's just the huge buzz, and then you get these 6 cars on the grid for this final.
Just 5 laps, always using push to pass most as possible, and to fight for money. That's brilliant.
I never race for money, so I really don't think that would make a difference for me.
The money, show me the money, baby.
Yeah, the money's great, but the points are very important, which is what we need at the moment.
This season, introducing the points in the super final, it's only 6 points, but you never know that 6 points at the end of the season might be crucial for the championship.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's the dash for cash, and it's serious cash this year. But in addition to that, these points could make a difference at the end of the year. Everybody is scratching for points. They want points. And 6 points for the winner of that is another 6 points in the weekend. And you never know, we might get to the last race of the season and that could mean everything.
Dolby, you are the man. Yeah, baby!
I haven't spent it already. It's it's gone back into my racing, and we'll see. Maybe later on in the year, if we win some more, I'll have some fun. But at the minute, it's just focusing on scoring points and fighting for the championship.
Away we go, and the super final gets underway. Craig Dolby makes a poor start. AC Milan has come through. What an amazing start by AC Milan. Jelmer Berman, but no, because down the inside is Anderlecht. Anderlecht trying to squeeze Milan out. David Rigon has got it, and Tottenham coming back into second. Craig Dolby trying to take that second place away, but AC Milan round the outside. Anderlecht has got in front, and they're still all fighting behind as we're into this super final. Oh, look up there from Jelmer Berman, and the top three just beginning to edge away.
Yeah, I think Jelmer Berman wanted to go on the inside, but Craig stayed on the inside, so he locked up and nearly punched him, but no, he didn't. And everybody's fighting as much as they can to try to make up places as early as possible.
Look at Milan. There's Jelmer Berman for Milan, getting ever closer to the back of the Tottenham car as well. And that time around, well, at the fastest of the three, again, it was nothing in it. It was Berman, wasn't it? Fractionally, I think.
Yeah, it was Berman fractionally, but now the top five is in the same tent.
Oh, that's amazing. So even between these different drivers. They are identical cars, of course, but each team sets them up slightly differently. Each driver has a different technique. And here comes Jelmer Berman. He's looking at second. Oh, that's it down the inside. He's overcooked it, has he? Comes back. Dolby goes back around the outside. Oh, great racing between these two guys, just giving each other enough space, and they're still second and third.
That was a very, very kind of big ball move from Jelmer Berman, because the track is very, very narrow. He didn't have enough space on the inside, ran on the grass, and there is no grip there, obviously, and he lost the position, but what a great attempt.
David Rigon, the man who won the 2008 Super League Championship when he was driving for Beijing. Now he drives for the Belgian club Anderlecht. Anderlecht have had so much success in the Belgian Football League this year, and now they're going to have tremendous success in Super League Formula. It is Anderlecht that win the Super Final at Assen. David Rigon takes it from Craig Dolby of Tottenham, AC Milan's Jelmer Berman. Fourth goes to Liverpool, fifth to Basel, and sixth to Flamengo.
Davide, 2 wins, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Was not expected, because our car was not better than other, so we was 3-4 tenths lower than other, so I'm very happy, very happy.
Tottenham continue to lead the championship. They earned 5 points by finishing second in that super final. Anderlecht earned 6 points by winning the super final, and that's put them just ahead of Olympiacos in the championship. Seville in 7th place, Porto in 8th. On the podium, Davide Rigon receiving his trophy for victory in the super final. But perhaps what matters even more to him is the big check for €100,000.
Frank, 9 months out of motor racing, what a comeback.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good, it's for sure we had a good qualified, good first race, I was close to the win, and finally with the podium is pretty good. And second race was tough, starting in the last, with Davide Rigon also, but we had a good race, and I finished in position to win in the last 6, But the problem is in the last part of the second race, we broke the exhaust. We had a problem, and I was losing power. So on the third race, it was not possible for me to fight with the podium. So it's good. I didn't imagine to have a weekend like that, but it's a shame because last race I couldn't fight for the win. So anyway, well, I'm looking for Manicourt now to win, and now for sure I'm happy to be back.
Round 3 of Super League Formula takes place at Manicourt in France, and for French drivers driving for French clubs, it's an ideal opportunity to showcase their talents.
It's obviously a track I like very much. I've been racing a lot there, and it will be important for Lyon, obviously, to be on top and show to the French crowd that we can win races.
Manicourt is one of my favorite tracks. So
So it's very fast and very fast chicanes. You can't overtake easier. It's the same than here, more or less, but I like it. It's good fun.
Well, it's a track I know very well, but I haven't been winning so many races over there. I've never been so lucky, so I guess we'll keep fingers crossed and hope for the best.
They'll be racing again in 7 days at Manicourt. Join us then. From Ben Edwards, Bruce Giovanni and Abby Griffiths, bye-bye for now.